Hi folks, Greeno here again. Now where am I? I'm out and about. It's quite a nice sunny day, a little bit of early autumn sunshine, and I've come down to the seaside. I'm in Weymouth, and I've come here for this place behind me. This is the Marlboro fish and chip place. It's a takeaway, it's a restaurant, it's a bit of a Weymouth institution, to be honest. It's been open since 1974, it's got 50 years of history behind it. That's pretty impressive going, been in the same family all that time. Now, I'm not going to go into the restaurant today, we are going to get a takeaway. Reason for that? Just recently, it was voted by the Observer newspaper here in the UK as one of the 20 best fish and chip takeaway places in the whole of the UK. Pretty impressive accolade that, I reckon. Only one in Dorset to make that list, so it's got to be half decent, right? Let's get inside and give it a try. Right guys, I've been in and ordered. I've ordered a regular cod and chips, that comes to £11.10, and then a couple of things which are kind of local specialities around these parts. So we've got a regular mackerel fillet, that'll be battered I expect, you don't see that many places do you? And we've got a crab cake. Now around here is very, very well known for crab. Portland crab, for example, is some of the most famous crab you'll find anywhere in the world. So hopefully we're going to find it's a nice homemade one. Let's see. Right, goods acquired. In a nice 50th anniversary at a Marlboro Restaurant branded bag. Let's go find somewhere nice to sit down and eat them. As always, when you're down by the seaside, you've got to look out for these guys. If I'm not careful, he is going to be after my lunch. Well, I think I'm going to have to find somewhere different to sit, because these guys are on to me. Right, well that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? I tried a couple of other places outside, seagulls just swarming all over me. So I've had to come back into the car park. It's not the best looking of locations to eat the food, but at least I get to eat it, not the seagulls. So let's get the things out on the car bonnet and we'll take a look at what we got. First up, we have the fish and chips here. Now, this is just a regular cod. It looks to be a decent size. It looks to have a nice crispy batter too. And the chips, on first impressions, a good colour. Can't see any black bits in them either. So it actually looks pretty decent. Right, so here we are then guys, with the fish and chips. Mine, all mine. Not for the seagulls. So the chips, like I say, nice colour to them. Very nicely cooked actually. Tiny little crisp around the very edges of the chip. Nice and soft the rest of them though. I asked them to put plenty of salt and vinegar on there for me, and they have done, so that's good. Overall, I mean, you take a look in here, it's a good sized portion of chips. I say this was £11.10 for the cod and chips, which I guess is relatively expensive compared to some parts of the country. Inexpensive to others, from things I've heard in the comments section before. But it's a fair portion. For a regular cod and chips, quite often you won't get this much, will you? So, right, stop eating your chips, talk about something else. Look at this fish. So it's got a nice little crisp to the batter there, nice little gnarly bits coming off it. So the batter's obviously not too thick when they're putting it in. Let's see if I can break it in half and we'll take a look inside. Oh, easier said than done. And that is a nice piece of fish in there. Look at this. Steaming hot, as you can see. Lovely white flesh. Let's give it a try. Now, I didn't get any batter there. Just fish. And that's really tasty. It's a very, very nice thick fillet of fish, that. The batter does have a nice crisp to the top of it. The bottom maybe not so much, but I have been walking around for 5-10 minutes trying to find somewhere to eat. So it's understandable that the heat of the chips has steamed the bottom of the batter a little. But what I will say is it's a really fresh, really, really meaty piece of fish. The batter doesn't taste too oily. It's quite thin, which is how I prefer batter. That's really, really nice. I think for £11.10, in a seaside location like this down on the south coast, that is more than fair. More than fair. I expect all the chip shops are relatively competitive price-wise around here. I've not eaten one for a while, and of course food prices keep going up and up and up, so I don't really have a frame of reference right now. But I imagine most of the sort of bigger fish and chip shops around here are going to be of a similar price. This, for the quality of produce I've had so far, just with the cod and chips, I'm really happy with that. Right, one more bite of the cod, and then I'm going to get the crab cake and the fillet of mackerel out. See you in a minute. And so here they are. The fillet of mackerel here, like I say, it is battered. Now this is something you really don't see many places. I think I've only ever seen this in Weymouth. You don't tend to get oily fish like mackerel served up by chippies, but mackerel is so prolific off the coast around here that they're using that local produce in the chippies, which is a very good idea. Here's the crab cake as well. It's got a nice golden crumbing to it. Obviously been deep fried, of course. Really interested to see inside how much crab is in there. Not bad looking though, is it? Right, when I was in the shop, I don't think I mentioned the price of the mackerel or the crab cake. So the mackerel, £3.10, and the crab cake is £3.70. I don't think that's expensive, especially if there's a lot of crab in there. So this mackerel fillet, now bear in mind, a piece of cod costs you what, 8, 9 quid maybe? Most chippies. This piece of mackerel, £3.10. Now it's one fillet of mackerel, so half of a mackerel fish. Obviously it will have the skin on, as you can see on the bottom here. You don't take the skin off mackerel really. So, does oily fish work in batter? It most certainly does. Mackerel has a lovely distinct flavour, doesn't it? And you get all of that in this lovely crisp batter. Take a look inside there at the flesh of the mackerel. I know this is a popular thing around here simply because we catch a lot of mackerel off the coast down here in Dorset, but I don't see any reason why this shouldn't be popular elsewhere in the country. Obviously, being an oily fish, it is a little fishier, if you know what I mean, than white fish would be. A stronger, more pronounced flavour. But by golly, it's tasty. If you're ever down in this part of the world, down in Weymouth, I guess you can probably get it along the coast a little bit from here, but I've only ever seen it in Weymouth itself. Try the fried mackerel. They do mackerel baps as well, where you get one of these fillets in a bread roll, and you can pick a sauce to go with it. I normally go with horseradish. Works so well with mackerel. That, wow. For £3.10, you absolutely cannot go wrong. Right, onto this crab cake now. Apologies if you can hear some cars moving around. I am in a car park. It kind of goes with the territory. So we open up this crab cake. Wow. Have a look inside there. Quite a delicate flavour, or aroma. I haven't tasted it yet, but I can't tell you the flavour yet. like some Thai spice in there as well. There's a hint of chilli, a hint of coconut. I mean, it's a substantial thing, this. Just this on its own with a portion of chips would be a really good meal. The crumbing is lovely and crispy, it really is. And I'm going to say, I think this is homemade by them. Such a lovely flavour. And crab is quite a delicate thing, flavour-wise. The actual creature's not that delicate if you ever tried to pick one up. But they've handled it quite sensitively here. Like I say, there are Asian, Thai kind of flavours in there, but they're not strong, they're not punchy. Kind of just a background. Again, take a look inside there. Lovely, lovely filling. That is really good. So, clean myself up a little bit, get those breadcrumbs off my fingers. I've got to say, I'm really impressed with what I've had from here. I think the cod and chips was cooked very, very nicely. It's a good portion, it has to be said, a really nice portion for a regular cod and chips. And at £11.10, I don't think that's too expensive for this part of the world. The mackerel fillet is a bargain. £3.10 for that. If you just had one of those with a portion of chips, that's a really good lunch. If you do a double one as well, you get two of them. That's still less than the price of a piece of cod. And it's so tasty. Definitely, if you're down in Weymouth, I implore you, try the fried mackerel. It is banging. That crab cake, again, in fact, I'm going to pick it back up and have another little go. It is so tasty. The inside is so soft and lovely. Lovely texture from that coating. Nice, delicate flavours in there. Now, where have I put that receipt again? Here we go. £11.10 for the cod and chips, £3.10 for the mackerel fillet, and £3.70 for the crab cake. That there is easily enough for two people. You could share those chips out, no problem at all. £17.90 for all of that. Do you know what? I think that's really good. Now, can I see why this has made the Observer's top 20 chip shops in the country? Absolutely. They've got 50 years of tradition. It's in the same family. So it's not like when I went to London recently and did the oldish fish and chip shop, which has probably changed hands 30 times since it was opened. This has come down through the family, and they're taking those traditions with them. Absolutely excellent cookery of everything here. Perfectly cooked, delicious flavours. I can't score any less than a 5 out of 5. It's exceptional. Does it get Greeno's green light? You bet it does. All day long. Marlboro Fish Shop, down here in Weymouth. Get yourself down here. It's amazing. Right, well, apologies for the slightly less than salubrious venue we've done the review in. Like I say, those seagulls, they're just incredible round here. The ones down in Swanage don't seem to be quite so aggressive. The ones here, they're hunting in packs. Brutal, absolutely brutal. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this review of the Marlboro Fish and Chip Shop in Weymouth, don't forget, click a thumbs up on there for me. It does help my channel. And if you've enjoyed the content and you'd like to subscribe, well, I'm always grateful to each and every one of you that sticks around to enjoy some more of the content. Right, where am I off to next? You'll have to wait and see on the next video. I'll see you then.